Imagine a culture where beads can speak without words, where a dance can carry centuries of history, where cattle can represent family and marriage, and where ancestors are still remembered as part of the living family. Welcome to the world of the Zulu people of Southern Africa. From the legendary kingdom of Shaka Zulu to the spectacular reed dance, from powerful warrior traditions to beautiful beadwork, Zulu culture is filled with stories that have survived generations. But how much do we really know about the people behind these traditions? Today, we're going deep into 15 fascinating traditions, beliefs, and cultural practices that help tell the story of the Zulu people. The Zulu are one of the major Nguni-speaking peoples of Southern Africa, with a particularly strong historical and cultural connection to KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa. Their identity is expressed through language, family, music, dance, clothing, beadwork, ceremonies, and history. But Zulu culture isn't simply a story from the past. It continues to evolve as Zulu people live modern lives while preserving important aspects of their heritage. For centuries, political leadership and traditional authority have played an important role in Zulu history. The Zulu Kingdom became especially powerful in the early 19th century, and its history remains closely connected with the identity of the Zulu people. Traditional leadership continues to hold cultural significance today, particularly during major ceremonies. Few names in African history are as famous as Shaka Zulu. During the early 19th century, Shaka transformed the military organization of the Zulu Kingdom and helped build a powerful centralized state. His military reforms, organization of fighting units, and tactical innovations became legendary. His story would eventually become one of the most recognizable chapters in Southern African history. The image of the Zulu warrior has become famous around the world. Shields, spears, disciplined formations, and powerful dances are among the symbols associated with the historical Zulu military tradition. But it's important to remember that these symbols belong primarily to a particular historical period. Modern Zulu people are not simply warriors from the past. They are part of a diverse, modern society. Perhaps one of the most beautiful parts of Zulu culture is beadwork. To an outsider, a necklace may look like decoration, but traditional beadwork can communicate messages about identity, relationships, age, and social life. Patterns and colors can carry meaning depending on the context and community. In some traditional courtship settings, beads could even become a language of emotion. Imagine expressing feelings without saying a single word. In traditional Zulu courtship culture, beadwork could carry personal messages. Colors, patterns, and arrangements could communicate feelings and social information. That is why Zulu beadwork is more than beautiful jewelry. In the right context, it can become a visual language. Every year, one of the most spectacular celebrations associated with Zulu culture attracts enormous attention. It is known as Umkhosi, commonly called the Zulu reed dance. Thousands of young women participate in a celebration involving traditional singing, dancing, dress, and cultural teachings. The reeds themselves have deep symbolic importance within the tradition. According to Zulu tradition, the reed has an important place in the story of Zulu ancestry. The reed dance, therefore, isn't simply a performance. For participants and communities, it can represent cultural identity, womanhood, heritage, and continuity. It is one of the clearest examples of how an ancient symbol can remain meaningful in the modern world. Zulu clothing can tell a story before a person says a word. Beaded necklaces, bracelets, waist ornaments, skirts, headpieces, and other traditional garments may appear during ceremonies and cultural celebrations. Clothing can vary according to age, marital status, occasion, and community. And today, traditional Zulu fashion is increasingly being combined with modern African fashion. Zulu women have played an important role in preserving cultural knowledge through clothing, beadwork, music, dance, family traditions, and ceremonies. Many traditional practices are passed from older generations to younger ones. In this way, culture doesn't survive because it is written in a book. It survives because people continue to teach it. Traditional Zulu marriage is not simply about two people. Families can play an important role in the process. One of the best-known traditions is lobola, historically associated with cattle, and now often involving monetary arrangements. The tradition reflects the importance historically placed on relationships between families. For generations, cattle have represented far more than livestock within many Southern African communities. They could represent wealth, social status, family relationships, and marriage. Their traditional role in lobola is one reason cattle remains such a powerful symbol when discussing traditional Zulu society. For people who follow traditional Zulu spiritual beliefs, the relationship between the living and the ancestors can be deeply meaningful. Ancestors are often referred to as amadlozi. Family rituals and remembrance can be ways of maintaining a connection with those who came before. But Zulu society today is religiously diverse, and not every Zulu person follows traditional ancestral beliefs. Birth has traditionally been surrounded by important family customs. One practice associated with Zulu tradition is imbalako, a ceremony connected with welcoming a child into the family and community. Like many traditions, the details can differ between families and generations. What remains constant is the importance of family. Music is another powerful carrier of Zulu culture. Singing, rhythmic movement, drumming, and group participation can bring communities together. Traditional dances can communicate strength, celebration, identity, and history. And when voices rise together, the past suddenly feels alive. Language is one of the strongest foundations of cultural identity. isiZulu is one of South Africa's official languages and is spoken by millions of people. Even simple words can open a door into another culture. Sawubona means hello, and Ngiyabonga means thank you, and Sanibonani can be used when greeting more than one person. Food is another way culture travels from one generation to another. Traditional Zulu cuisine has long included maize, vegetables, beans, pumpkin, sorghum, and meat. Foods such as aputhu and other maize-based dishes remain associated with traditional Southern African cuisine. Around a shared meal, food becomes more than nourishment. It becomes family, memory, and identity. Image prompt. Umkhosi is a traditional fermented grain beer associated with celebrations and gatherings in several Southern African cultures. In traditional settings, drinks like this can be connected to communal ceremonies and important social occasions. Once again, food and drink become part of the larger story of community. Another important traditional ceremony is Umkhosi, associated with the first fruits of the agricultural season. It connects people, land, food, tradition, and the Zulu royal institution. It reminds us that culture is not only about clothing and dance. Sometimes, culture begins with something as simple and powerful as giving thanks for food. Death is not simply a private experience in traditional community life. Families and communities gather to mourn, remember, and support one another. Traditional practices may be combined with Christian ceremonies, reflecting the diverse religious lives of Zulu families today. At the heart of mourning is remembrance. Traditional Zulu life has historically been organized around the homestead and extended family. Traditional roundhouses, cattle areas, and communal spaces formed part of the physical environment. But modern Zulu communities can look very different. Many people now live in cities, work modern professions, and live contemporary lifestyles while still maintaining connections to their heritage. Perhaps the most important thing to understand is that Zulu culture is alive. It is not a museum display. Today's Zulu people are teachers, entrepreneurs, farmers, doctors, artists, students, professionals, and community leaders. Some follow traditional customs closely. Others combine cultural traditions with Christianity or other modern influences. Culture survives by adapting, from beads that can communicate emotion to dances that preserve memory, from marriage traditions that connect families to ceremonies that honor harvests and ancestors. Zulu culture tells one powerful story. You are connected to the people who came before you, the people standing beside you, and the generations that will come after you. And perhaps that is the greatest secret of all. The Zulu story is not only about kings and warriors. It is about mothers teaching daughters, elders teaching children, families gathering together, songs carried across generations, beads carrying messages, and traditions refusing to disappear. This is the story of the Zulu people. A story of history, a story of identity, a story of heritage, and most importantly, a story that is still being written. If you enjoyed discovering the hidden traditions of Africa, subscribe to M&J African Story Hub for more stories cultures and traditions from across the continent.